Hi everyone. Today we talk about something that I feel it's pretty important and maybe most of us have already experienced. When you feel that all the relationships are bad because you had bad experiences on it. So now you are finally single and you want to stay single forever. Like you don't want a partner anymore because now you are finally like reaching your stability, or that what you think is stability, because we will see that maybe it's not a real stability. Anyway, so now that you feel safe, now that you have your routine, now that you do, what you want, like you want, when you want, where you want. So you are starting asking yourself, why I need someone? Why I need to have a partner? I stay really good like this and I'm stable, I'm grounded, I have everything I want, and most of all, I don't want to live these bad experiences that I lived. So actually, it's very, very important for me to split two different things between if you really want to stay in this moment single, or if you are afraid to have a relationship because you had bad experiences. So today we'll talk a little bit more about this theme, and I want also to know your opinion, Nanti, because yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, thank you, Vale. I think you already explained very well. The topic is an important one and very common, especially for those people that had a bad experience in the past in a relationship, or sometimes in multiple relationships. They found themselves falling in the same patterns or experiencing uh, some sort of stress or lack of freedom, and now they got back to that sense of empowerment where they can just not depend on anyone else and just be, do what they want to do day by day. They kind of feel addicted to that freedom, and they are so afraid to fall back into these old patterns that brought a lot of stress, very often also a lot of pain. So these memories are still strong in most cases. And the last thing we want is to feel again those emotions that were so heavy, you know. So I think it's very common, and a lot of people choose to not want to lose it, to not risk it, and therefore also sometimes some people are, they could live this in different ways. Some people don't want to date anybody at all. So they just want to step away from even dating because it feels stressful in a way, and they feel vulnerable. They know they might like someone for real. So things could start over again. Some people instead like to date other people, but they keep it occasional, so they don't want to feel involved at a deeper level. I think as human beings, we need relationships, we need connection, we need to feel that sort of belonging to something that is bigger than us, which doesn't necessarily need to come from a love relationship, but surely connection and belonging and relationships are an important part of it. So, okay, so it all depends on how deep you manage to connect with the people or the person you want to connect to. I think it's important to somehow try to keep curious, even though we suffered a lot, or even though we internalize these bad experiences related to relationships. It's important to leave a part of us that stays curious on, okay, I had these bad experiences, but maybe there is something different. Maybe it is possible to be happy in a relationship, even though deep inside you might not believe it in full because your experiences are different. I invite you to keep open and to keep curious in that direction, because you might experience it, one day. Who knows? It's good to wonder in life. What do you think?
Totally, I really like this part, like to keep the possibilities open, to be open to possibilities, to other possibilities, because yeah, the world is not just what we have already experienced, but there is another world, two other many worlds that we haven't experienced yet, and that we can experience if you want, if we work on ourselves, and if we open up to have this curiosity, as you said, and this willing and this faith. I want to say, this faith that is not all finished for what I experience. It's not uh, it's not existing just what I lived, but there is more. There is more out there, and of course, there are people that are not used to have good communication or good relationships, also because they don't know themselves very well. They don't know very well about the relationships. So this unconsciousness can lead them to some relationship that can be not so good. But there are also some people that are work on themselves, that really want a good and a healthy relationship, that want to build a good relationship, because it's not about that we find a healthy relationship, but there's the willing of both person to build together a healthy relationship. So it's very, very important to be open, to be curious, and absolutely there is something that relationships are in our DNA. So we need also to experience relationship to also know ourselves better sometimes, because when we are single, we can do a lot of inner work, and then the proof is when we really have a connection with somebody, and it's there when we can really understand, okay, I can see this pattern, and now I can react in a different mode. Now I can see it, now I can pause, now I can respond in another way. So it's really in the moment of the connection, in the relationship moment, when we really have the opportunity to grow, because there we can really see the fruits of our inner work, and we can also experiment, not just in ourselves, but in the connection, this growing, this path. So I know that sometimes it's not so easy to have faith or to see possibilities in the world, but really I think it's very, very important. Also understanding which kind of person we want on our side, and to become this person, not to just waiting from outside to give us something, but to be the person that we want in our life. And then, little by little, step by step, be open to see what the world can offer us. Because um, sometimes we close ourselves to protect ourselves, as you said, to some bad experiences, like we've already experienced. Now, what do you think?
Absolutely, it's so important. And as you said, relationships are an amazing gym for us to work on ourselves, understand what happened to us in the past, what type of love we internalized, and so on and so forth. So it's an amazing, amazing mirror to really get to know ourselves better and improve on those things that we think would make our life easier, would make our life better. And later on, it will be reflected on the outside as well, for sure. It came to my mind that some people, well, first of all, we're all on the path. Okay. So we're all on a personal growth path. And it's something that, of course, there are some important milestones that we reach, but it's something that never ends. There is no end to improvement. We can always, we should always push ourselves a little bit forward and beyond our limits. And sometimes, when a person already worked pretty much quite a lot on themselves, they are like, I know exactly who I am. I'm very happy with myself. I'm happy with my life. I have the perfect job. I live where I want to live. I have amazing friends. Everything is amazing. And I really don't want anybody in my life because they could ruin it. They could make my life worse. Okay. And I understand that. But again, it's important to try to reflect on what we said a moment ago, which is whatever we have around is a mirror of what we have inside. So if your work is amazing, wonderful. You worked on that side and you made that appear in your life, amazing. If your friendships are amazing, wonderful. If you live in the place where you want to be, perfect. But remember that everything is a mirror, not only the good things. And I'm not saying that this is a bad thing or whatever, but I'm just saying that if in a relationship you keep, for example, being attracted by a specific type of person that you know cannot bring joy to your life and actually might take it away, it's something to reflect on. Why am I attracted to that type of person? Or sometimes, we tend to push away those people that actually are present, that gift us with their love and their kindness and their presence in our life, and we tend to push them away. Why am I doing this? Do I allow myself to be loved? The things to think about are a lot, and it's not that easy to immediately just stop in and say, okay, this is what I need to work on. It's a process, takes time, takes reflection, and as you said, it takes a lot of curiosity, of being open to what life will bring us to experience. And that's I think the most important thing, to always try to improve our life in all sectors, and to never feel like we arrived fully. We arrived to a next step, to a better, uh, possibly to a better condition than the one we were before. But there is no limit to a better life. Okay. So it's always important to feel like we can always learn something. We should always absorb as many beautiful things as possible to make our life better, even better. Why not? So, yeah, what do you think, Vale?
Totally, totally, because in the relationship, you can always learn something. As you said, there's a mirror. So I know that sometimes it's scary because, as you said, somebody can have the fear that if she or he has built a great world around him, maybe a relationship can ruin it, but actually not. Actually, it's, of course, you need also to work on it, to work on the relationship, because like a mirror, it reflects also every part of us, the the parts that we love the most and the parts that we love not so much. So it's important that we say that we understand that we need to work on it, but actually there is a great growth and great inner success um, when we feel good. It's there are big rewards on it when we really put ourselves in a relationship and do our best. We can really learn a lot.
So we invite you again to stay open and to do whatever makes your life a better life, with or without a partner, with or without friends. Just do whatever works for you, but keep open to always improvement without limiting yourself. Thank you for being with us during this time. And if you would like to let us know in the comments what you think about this topic, we are absolutely interested in reading what you think. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.
Bye.